पुमन्यानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So here we are beginning with a new chapter, entanglement in fruitive activities. So in the beginning itself, Lord Kapila is speaking about the Grihanedis. They are the ones who become severely entangled under the laws of this material world. So here we see the description how a Grihanedi leads his life. Lord Kapila says, Athayo Grihanediyan Dharman eva vasan grihe. Grihanedis means avasan grihe. They stay in their home, houses, along with wife, children, household paraphernalia, wealth, animals, vehicles, and some resources to generate income. So they live in the center of all of these. And here, the Grihanedis from the Vedic society, it is understood that they perform religious rituals because they are spiritually inclined to some extent. They want to enjoy their senses within the brackets of the Vedic injunctions. Compared to the modern people who are completely engrossed in sense gratification, kicking away all the religious rituals, not caring for them. They have made sense gratification as the center of their lives. And they are nothing but animals. So here what Kapila Muni is telling, at least the householders who also indulge in sense gratification, but by following the Vedic rituals, dharma, artha, kama, step by step they go in this way. Dharman eva vasan grihe. So they are situated in the household life, but practicing dharma. But they are content. Why? Their intent behind practicing dharma is not for spiritual emancipation, but for more and more sense gratification. Kaman artham cha dharman swan. They want to enjoy their senses, kaman. For that purpose, they require money to obtain objects of sense gratification. So economic development should be there. So that is artham. Kamam artham cha dharman swan dhokti bhoya piparvatitan. Dhokti means enjoy. So they perform dharma. And in a dharmic way, they earn wealth. And whatever wealth they have earned, they use it for their sense gratification. So in this way, they enjoy their material life. Dogti, Booyaha Pipartitat. Booyaha means again and again. Piparti, they perform. They perform religious ritualistic ceremonies, earn wealth, and get objects for sense gratification, and enjoy their services. And once this cycle is done, once they enjoy their senses, use up their economic whatever they have earned, again they have to perform religious rituals, again pious credit they have to earn, again they indulge in sense gratification, and this cycle goes on and on and on. Muryahan, again and again they perform the same thing. So we see in the purport Prabhupada quoted the instruction by Prahalada Maharaja, Punaha Punaha Charvita Charvanana, chewing the already chewed. Already it is chewed and thrown out. Again pick it up and chew it again and again. So this is the materialistic life. Underneath the illusory grip of Maya, again and again a living entity performs the same kind of activities repeatedly. He never understands that he is eligible for some higher kind of happiness in the association of the Supreme Lord. The material pangs in this material world are actually not. He is not supposed to undergo all the tribulations here. He is eligible for a higher kind of happiness. But forgetting all of these under the Avaranatmika Shakti and Prakshepatmika Shakti of Maya, he again and again performs the acts which leads to sense gratification. And whatever required for sense gratification, he is ready to do it again and again. So now, let us hear from the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 9th canto, there is a description of King Pururava. So this Pururava, he got attracted to a celestial girl by name Urvashi. He was so enchanted with her, he practically lost his intentions, went behind her. In fact, the level to which the activities he performed, like here it is mentioned how Prabhupada says, the Grahanedis, they perform religious rituals and they want to gratify their senses, and eventually they want to carry higher mental systems because there a higher kind of enjoyment is available, higher category of sense objects are available. So they want to go there. So here let us hear from the story of Pururava, who got attracted to this girl Urvashi. She rejected him and went away. And he was very dejected. Somehow, after a long time, again he found her at a place like in Kurukshetra. He found her for a brief time. And again she left him. And somehow he wanted her back. So through the assistance of some Gandharvas, he was able to obtain the sacrificial fire which was given by the Gandharvas, and he performed sacrifices and performed all required austerities to elevate himself to higher planets, to Swargalokas, to heavenly planets. And specifically he went to that planet where Urvashi resided. So he performed a lot of austerities, sacrifices, everything, and he elevated himself, went directly to that planet where that girl Urvashi resided. After going there, again was very happy in the association of other. And she had put some conditions and somehow it went on like that. But at one point of time, by the arrangement of all the devatas there, again Pururava left him. And this time was so disappointed. And in that dejected mood, in that depression he underwent, anxiety, the pain of separation. In that condition, somehow or the other, since he was pious, he was able to remember the Supreme Lord. And he offers prayers to the Supreme Lord, requesting His mercy and explaining to the Lord his condition. So this is known as Ayuda Gita. Ayuda means Pururava, because he is the son of, his father is Buddha and mother is Ila. Son of Ila is known as Ayuda. So, this is how a description is given in the Bhagavatam. Ailaha samrat imam gatha agayata brhatshaha urvashi virahan mokyatans nirvigna shoka samyame. The following song was sung by the famous Emperor Pururava. When deprived of his wife Urvashi, he was at first bewildered, but by controlling his lamentation, he began to feel detachment. So initially he was very much dejected, being deprived of his wife Urvashi. He was bewildered. Later he controlled in his lamentation, and a sense of detachment arose in his heart. Tyaktvatmanam vrajantitam nagna punamatta vanripaha vilapan anvagan chane ghore tishteti viklavaha. This Urvashi, tyaktva atmanam, she rejected me and she went away. Vrajanati, she is going away. Nagna punamatta vanripaha, this King Pururava, as if like a madman, not caring that there are no clothes on his body, he is just running behind her. Vilapan anvagat jaye, oh lady, oh my wife, ghore, oh terrible lady, tishteti, please stop. He is standing behind her without any clothes on his body. Kaman atripto anujushan kshullakan varshayamini navedayantir nayantir urvashya krishna chetana. Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai. Although for many years Pururava had enjoyed sex pleasure in the evening hours, still he was not satisfied by such insignificant enjoyment. His mind was so attracted to Urvashi that he did not notice how the nights were coming and going. So actually the prayer like this, his song starts from here, Ailavu Vachan. Aho me moha vistara kama kashmala chetasahan devya grihita kanthasya nayud khandati me smritahan. King Aila said, alas, just see the extent of my delusion. This goddess was embracing me and held my neck in her grip. My heart was so polluted by lust that I had no idea how my life was passing. So days together, months together, years together were passing, and he was like as if unnoticing all of them, completely engrossed in the association of his wife, of that lady Urvashi. Naham vedabi nirmukta suryo vabhyutito muyan moshito vakshapogana bata hani gayatkaranyuta. That lady cheated me so much that I did not even see the rising or setting of the sun. Alas, for so many years I passed my days in vain. So this King Pururava, he did not even notice whether it was morning or night or afternoon, the setting or rising of the sun, the passing of the time. He was unaware, but simply attached to this old worship. And like this, years together has passed. And even after that, he is not yet satisfied. He wants an association more and more. And he says, how? Aho ve atma sammo o yenatma yoshitam kritaha kridam rikash chakravarti naradeva shikhavaniti. He is Chakravarti, the emperor, Naradeva Shikhavani. It is said here, alas, although I am supposed to be a mighty emperor, the crown jewel of all kings on this earth, just see how my bewilderment has rendered me a toy animal in the hands of a woman. Kridam Rikash Chakravarti Naradeva Shikhamani. Though he is the emperor, many big kings report to him. Still, he has become a toy animal in the hands of worship. Although I was a powerful lord with great opulence, that woman gave me up as if I were no more than an insignificant blade of grass. And still naked and without shame, I followed her, crying out to her like a mad man. He's a big emperor, and he is going behind her, but she is considering him less than an insignificant blade of grass. Not caring for him, she left him. But still this king, he is going behind her. Same like we speak like say, Trinadapi Suninchera, Tarorapi Sahishwana. So this is the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Voluntarily we should accept our position as something lesser than a blade of grass. And understanding our position, we should be ready to offer all respects to others and not expecting any respect for oneself. In this state of mind, we are supposed to chant the holy names of the Supreme Lord. So if we don't do this, if we do not follow this instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then, so this is what will happen. So there's just like a skin going behind that woman, and she's considering him something lesser than a blade of grass, rejecting him, and she's going away. And this king is completely bewildered, so dejected, and is running behind them. Kutastasya bhavasya teja ishatvameva va yo anvakachan striyam yantim karavat pada tadita. See another important thing he says. Kutaha tasya anubhavaha. Anubhavaha means influence. He was so influential person, King Pururava, the great emperor coming from the long dynasty, Chandravansha. His anubhava, his teja, his strength, and Ishatvam, he was the monarch, the sovereignty, complete. He was a proprietor of all lands. So his anubhava, teja, Ishatvam, everything. Where are my so-called great influence, power and sovereignty? Just like an ass being kicked in the face by his she-ass, I ran after that woman who had already given the house. We see how a donkey, a male donkey goes behind the female donkey, and that female donkey kicks to the hind legs on the face of that male donkey. So likewise, even I have been kicked by her, and I'm running behind her, and she's just going away, not caring for me. Kim Vidyaya, Kim Tapasa, Kim Tyagena Shrutena Va, Kim Viviktena Maunena, Striviryasya Manoharanam. Now he is realizing that how Kim Vidyaya, what is the use of big education? Kim Tapasa, being big austerities, a person would have done. Kim Tyagena, he would have given up whatever, like Tyaga, renunciation, and became a big renunciant. And then Shrutena means of studying various Vedic literatures. And then King Viviktena, Vivikta means living in solitude. Some people, they perform Om Namranta, all those things, Viviktena. Viviktena Paunena, Stribir Yasya Manodharatam. After all that, if one's mind is stolen by a woman, so what is the use of his education? Great posterity, his study of Vedic literatures, everything becomes of no value. Then he says, to hell with me, I am such a fool that I didn't even know what was good for me. Although I arrogantly thought I was highly intelligent, although I achieved the exalted position of a lord, I allowed myself to be conquered by a woman as if I were a bullock or a jackass. Just like bullocks, ox, they'd be tied with a rope, and a person, he'd pull them wherever, however he wants. He'd pull and take them. So likewise, he was being dragged by this woman, Urvashi. Just like a bullock or an ass, Go Karavat. Go means like a bullock and Kara means an ass or donkey. I was being pulled by this Urvashi. He's lamenting. Seveto Varshapogan me Urvashya Adharasavam Na Tripyati Atmabhuv Kamo Varnir Autiphiryathan. So many years are spent in her association. Still, my desires have not been fulfilled. So he's giving an example here. Varnir Autiphiryathan. Vahni means there is fire. And you pour some ghee in the fire, some fuel into that fire. Will that fire stop? It will continue to burn. And you continue to offer ghee to that fire. It will continue, it will keep burning. The fire doesn't say, oh, sufficient ghee I have consumed, let me stop burning. No, it won't. It will continue burning. In fact, the burning or the flame increases in proportion with the proportion of ghee you put in it. So likewise, the lusty desires. More and more a person is engaged, more and more the desires develop, never stopping, just like fire. It will burn. And finally he says, Pumshalya pahritam chittam kono anvyo mochitum prabho Atmaraneshwaram vrate bhagavantam adhokshajam. So finally he is approaching or calling out to the Supreme Lord. Pumshalya apahritam chittam. My consciousness, my mind was carried away by that prostitute Urvashi. Kono anvyo mochitum prabho. Who is there who can help me in this condition? Who can release me from this bondage of that attachment what I have to her? Atma Rameshwaram Rite. Atma Rama Ishwaram. That means he is referring to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, God Vishnu, who is the Ishwara, the master of all Atma Ramas. So except for this personality of Godhead, Bhagavantam Adhokshajam, the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the reach of any of our senses, nobody can possibly save my consciousness. So this is the realization of King Pururava. except for the Lord, except for His mercy. Nobody can save me from this attachment what I have to this woman. Because earlier also, the same Urvashi, even the first time when she rejected him when she went away, at that point of time also, she had given good counsel to Pururava, where he is so much attached. And a lot of things she describes, this is not fair, this is not good. In spite of those good instruction, still he had not come to his senses. So much time he spent again to go to that planet where she resided and to associate with her. And years together it is passing by, completely forgetful of the Supreme Lord, completely forgetful of his duties as a great emperor. So much he was behind her. And now he's thinking, it's only the Supreme Lord who can help me to come out of this false attachment what I had. It is only the Supreme Lord who can help me give up this creed of consciousness. So, and he surrendered to the Lord. And likewise, a lot of description goes on, and like how he says, Tvak mam sarvadhirasnayo medho manja asti samhadavo vidmotra poye ramada kriminam kyadantaram. A man who is behind a woman who is nothing but this material body made up of blood, bones, muscle, stone, bone, all kinds of very abominable substances. And he goes behind that to take pleasure. He is non-different from a krimi, a one. There are some works of the stone, and it takes pleasure there. Wriggling and whatever, its beard, its body with all of those abominable substances. So a man who is forgetful of his spiritual nature, forgetful of his relationship with the Supreme Lord, who thinks I am this body, and who seeks enjoyment to others' body, is no better than or not different compared to a worm in a stone. What is their difference between him and any other krimi or worm? So finally he says, Athapi nopashancheta strishu straineshu chartavit vishagendriya samyogan manakshubhyati nanyatha. Yet, even one who theoretically understands the actual nature of the body should never associate with women or with men attached to women. After all, the contact of the senses with their objects inevitably agitates the mind. So for a woman, it's a man, and for a man, it's a woman. So understanding the spiritual nature, understanding the arrangement of Maya to entrap us, we should not get into the blind well of sense gratification. And finally, Lord Krishna says to Uddhava, Evam pragaya nrupadeva devaha sa urvashilokam ato vihaya atvanam atmani avagavya mamvai uparamadhyana pithotamonaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, having thus chanted this song, Maharaja Pururava, eminent among the demigods and human beings, gave up the position he had achieved in the planet of Urvashi. His illusion cleansed away by transcendental knowledge, he understood me to be the Supreme Soul within his heart, and so, at last, achieved peace. So at last, Maharaja Pururava achieved peace. How? By understanding that the Supreme Lord, He is residing in His own heart, and He is related to Him. There's a transcendent relationship with Him and the Supreme Lord, being engaged in His devotional service. So if we also understand our relationship with the Supreme Lord, understand our spiritual existence, understand that yes, the Lord as a super soul is also residing within me. So with this understanding, if we engage in devotional service to Him, we can also attain peace. If we don't do this, we'll be burning with all kinds of rusty desires. We want to acquire more and more objects for our sense gratification. And as Kapila says here, again and again, oh yeah, happy Partitan, again and again perform religious ritualistic activities, obtain economic development, and enjoy your senses, and whatever the pious credit is gone, again perform ritualistic activities, and this cycle goes on and on. So much of our time and energy will be wasted with these unwanted activities. So as quickly as possible, we need to realize this, otherwise we'll be fallen into the life of the Griha, completely attached to household life, centered around sense gratification. So on the other hand, Srila Prabhupada describes about a Grihastha. So I'll read this. See, very nice description Prabhupada gives. This acts like a definition for who is a Grihastha. I'll read it out. A Grihastha is a person who lives with family, wives, children and relatives, but has no attachment for them. So this is the key point. He lives with wife, family, children and all opulences, but he is not attached to them. He prefers to live in family life rather than as a mendicant or sannyasi, but his chief aim is to achieve sense-realization or to come to the standard of Krishna consciousness. So this is the chief aim of his life, not to enjoy in family household life, but to achieve self-realization or come to the standard of Krishna consciousness. Then we say, yes, he is an ideal Grihastha. He can live peacefully amidst all the kinds of opponents, wives, children, everyone can be there. Still he can live peacefully if his life is centered around Krishna conscious activity. He makes the goal of his life to become Krishna conscious and become a self-realized person. So with this in conclude, Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada ki